Good morning, colleagues. I want to tell my colleagues from the digital learning group that I look at their magazine with great enthusiasm. I find some very interesting articles there, and I also find that there's a lot of information about what are the new instruments available in IT-based learning. And I'm very happy that the group is not only interested in publishing a magazine, but also creating a forum and workshops, get-togethers to discuss the issue of how to involve ICT tools into education, both at the school level and at the higher education level. My very dear friend, Professor Pillai, has given you a very broad and very thoughtful introduction. Introduction is not the right word. An overview of what is happening in higher education. I'm sure all of you are also very keen observers of what is going on in India's desire to be a very well educated and very well informed and very knowledgeable society. Well, I would just make a few points. One is that our education system in the country is a bit like Karol Bagh market. There are universities with 300 colleges attached to them. There are some colleges which are becoming autonomous now. With some great wisdom, which I don't see wisdom in that, but there must have been something which prompted us to create engineering institutes separate from the universities. In our wisdom, we created separate agricultural universities, even though we got the inspiration from land grant schools in the United States. There is no agriculture university in the United States, standalone. But we created many. We have state universities, which is okay. We have central universities, which is fine. But in terms of size and specialization, we never followed the concept of a comprehensive university as it exists in the West, particularly in the United States and Britain. Now, most of the world's great universities are comprehensive universities. There may be some like MIT which keep social sciences a little bit out or languages out, but even they have a very broad spectrum of education as compared to our standalone institutes that we have created in India. So we have ended up with Delhi University with 30,000 students in postgraduate education. Compare it with the world's top universities. Some may have 30,000 students, but that will include engineering, that will include undergraduates, that will include postgraduates and PhDs. We have 30,000 students only at the postgraduate level. We have 150,000 students at the undergraduate level in classroom teaching, and I am not including the medical schools and the engineering schools, which are with us, but there is no linkages in terms of intellectual activity. They are there as standalone. Medical schools are there as standalone. In fact, there is very little interaction with medical researchers and the so-called basic sciences researchers, where University of Delhi has made a reasonable mark. So what I'm trying to say is that we have a very unique model which doesn't exist anywhere in the world when we look at the top 200 universities globally by Time Survey or Shanghai Gentoo Survey. I won't go into why we did it. I think a lot of it is out of anxiety. A lot of it is based on competitive politics. If you say we are going to start 30 new universities, 20 new IITs, it makes a bigger bang than you are saying we will start half a dozen national universities which will be comprehensive universities. It will make news as big as saying, look, IIMs we already know are there, so that model can be extended. IITs we know are already there. But the comprehensive university has gone out of our radar. Where does Delhi University stand on it? I'm going to speak a little bit about my own university. Not to tell you that it is world's greatest university. You probably know more about Delhi University reading in the newspapers what happens and so on and what's going on. But it is a university which the whole country looks at. People from all over the country come to study at Delhi University. Maybe not so much from the south, but certainly from eastern part of India, from central parts of India, from the north. It is a university which attracts a lot of attention. Whatever you do at Delhi University is looked at by other universities also very closely because it is situated in the capital of the country. Also, it happens to that in the survey which was conducted, that which universities have done research which is globally recognized, research which is published in peer-reviewed journals, Delhi University came at the top. That surprised me. That shows to me, or that told me, that look, we are still alive, even though in the last 3-4 plans, the University of Delhi was getting on average about 18 to 19 or 20 crores for developmental work. In spite of that deprivation, there are people who are running, there are research scholars who are going to the libraries, they are writing, they are doing their experiments, they are publishing something and contributing to the corpus of knowledge and also producing people who would be the future teachers of the country. Of course, in terms of lawyers, judges, in media, Delhi University, civil services, the contribution of Delhi University is immense. So, while we have a very large university, how do we manage to take it further? Because it doesn't fit in with that global model in which the top 200 universities of the world sit. That is a comprehensive university with a student population of about 15 to 25,000 and no more. I think that is where we have to talk about the new technologies, we have to talk about new methods of imparting education, we have to talk about how do we bring excellence in a university which has grown too large and which has some disadvantages in terms of the sheer numbers that are coming to the university. Well, our education